Hey, call me Shape. And today I'm reacting to a video titled Pretty Black Women Feel the Pain as Black Men Walk Away. Let's get right into it.
Homegirl live in Florida, but she met some guy who just moved to Atlanta, and I was like, "Oh, is he here?" And she was like, "Yeah." And then I was like, "Do he have kids? That's why he moved to Atlanta?" And she said, "No." I said, "Is he in the entertainment industry as far as music or movies?" She says, "No." I said, "Well, do he have like college friends that moved here and they're doing well?" Like, she said, "No." I said, "Is he African?" She said no. I was like, he's in his 30s and he just decided to move to Atlanta. Girl, he did. And then she called me a hater, and I was like, girl, where you say he was from? Virginia. He can't be who he want to be in Virginia. Girl, he came to Atlanta to come to live his life. I don't know what lies y'all told each other while he was in Florida, but girl, go date somebody else, because he ain't it.
Imagine getting advice from her. He ain't it. Is he in Atlanta for business? Oh, he ain't in Atlanta for business. Oh, is he African? Right? Because she just knows all the right questions to ask, right? And unfortunately, here's another attractive woman who, by the way, is a single mother, giving all these black women advice, right? Telling them, like, hey, look, you shouldn't date that guy, you shouldn't date this guy. I wonder who in the world would see a video of a girl like this and think to themselves, I need to date her, right? She doesn't even have her child under wraps. Her kid is like, pay attention to me, mommy, get off TikTok. You know what I'm saying? And starts crying, not really crying, but whining. And you should give that kid some attention, for real. Yeah, you should get off TikTok and try to stop trying to give people advice on life and get your life together, okay? Where's that child's daddy at, okay? At least give it to the daddy. You know what I'm saying? That's the least thing you could do. Anyway, we have more black women over 30, okay, giving advice to women because they think they know the solution. They know the solution. Let's listen to what they got to say and then we'll respond to it.
If you're a single woman over the age of 30 and you're wondering, when is your husband going to find you? When is it going to happen already? If I just knew when it was going to happen, I would be okay. Let me tell you why that knowing when it's going to happen for you might not necessarily be the best thing. So I started dating in January of the year 2000 at the age of 18 years old. I don't get married until January of 2020 at the age of 38 years old. Had 18-year-old me known that it was going to take 20 years, I would have done anything I could to beat the clock. I would have been determined not to wait those 20 years. I would have sold myself so short. I mean, even shorter than I sold myself in my 20s, because man, in my 20s, I accepted some nonsense. My head was not screwed on straight. But somewhere around the age of 35, I just made peace. I said, you know what? If he doesn't find me in this season of my life, I'm okay with it, because I've seen the women who have settled and it wasn't good. And while I was in my early 20s to mid 20s and everyone else was getting married and I was standing there clapping, catching every bouquet at every wedding, you know, wearing how many bridesmaid dresses and feeling left behind, a term that I hate, but feeling left behind and wondering when it would happen for me. By the time I was 30, many of those marriages had already disintegrated, because sometimes when early 20s you, when mid 20s you, chooses your life partner, you might not make the best choices. Okay? So fast forward to me making peace with it, understanding that it's not worth settling, and it helped me relax my approach to dating. I was less anxious, much less desperate. And I meet my husband at 37, and I was in such a relaxed place and not afraid to admit what I wanted that it just worked for me. You know, it just worked for the both of us. And I don't think I would have reached that point in my dating evolution without first making the peace that I am okay. If this doesn't happen for me right now, because I will not settle, I will hold out. I'll get married at 60, okay, before I settle. And things just turned around for me at 37, meet my husband, and you guys know the rest of the story. So hold on until the right man finds you. Settling isn't worth it. And I know that can be frustrating when you're just like, I want it to happen already, but the older, more mature, more elevated version of you will choose a better life partner than the young, silly version of you, okay? So hold out, keep your standards and your head held high. It will happen for you at the right time.
Oh man, where do I start? Okay, and by the way, this is an attractive girl. Okay, she meets the requirements of a pretty black woman, and fortunately for her, she got married. Okay, but to give women the advice that you could just wait, don't settle, don't settle. I watch all these girls got married, and I clapped, and they settled, they settled. Baby girl, you don't remember? You settled. Okay, you settled for losers. You said you dated a bunch of losers. You were not in the right state of mind. What about that? You were settling for losers in your prime years. In your prime years, you settled for losers. Okay, at least they got married to the loser. The loser was just pumping and dumping you. Or maybe you were pumping and dumping them. I don't know. But a lot of women can't take that advice. She's an attractive woman, maybe, you know what I'm saying, at 38, you know, because Carol, I guess currently now she'd be what? That means she'd be born in 82. So she's 6 years older than me. So she's like 43 going on what? Or she's going to be 43 this year. You know what I'm saying? So my thoughts are, you know, how many women can pull this off later in life in their 40s, right? When you got to freeze your eggs. I mean, this is horrible advice, okay? Fortunately for her, she got married, but not every girl's going to be so lucky, okay? Not every woman's going to be that lucky. So, but, you know, speaking about girls getting lucky, what about guys getting lucky, okay? Because these women over 30 are kind of chaotic, but what about men over 30? How are they doing?
Excuse me? Sorry. Are you two a couple?
Yeah.
Would you mind telling us the story of how you first met?
Oh, how we first met?
Yeah.
You can tell it.
First met?
Excuse me? Sorry. Are you two a couple?
Yeah.
Would you mind telling... Excuse me? Sorry. Are you two a couple?
Jesus Christ. I don't know what the story is about this guy, but it looks like he's doing all right, okay? And this channel is called Meet Cutes NYC. So I guess they interview people who they think are couples, and they ask them, you know, how long you know been dating each other or whatnot. Hey, listen up, Shape Squad. If you're enjoying the content and want to support the channel, right now you could buy me a coffee. That's right, buy me a coffee. You could click the link in the description or use my QR code to make a one-time or monthly donation. It's easy, simple, and it goes a long way. All your support goes to funding the channel and keeping it safe from you know what. And it allows me to make better content and even collaborate with other content creators. So thank you for rocking with me. Now let's get right back to the content.
Yeah.
Would you mind telling us the story of how you first met?
Oh, how we first met?
Yeah.
You can tell it.
Mutual friends. They were talking, and they were like, "Oh, what's going on in your love life?" And I'm like, "I'm single, like, you know the deal." And they were like, "Well, we're gonna hook you up with somebody." And I'm like, "We're gonna hook you up with somebody." And I was like, I don't believe it. Like, I'm really picky, whatever. And they told me to DM her, so I DM'd her. And she left me on red like 2 or 3 times, and I was like, "Yo, I'm not, like, this is me. This is not how I get down." And then she responded to me, and the rest is
2
history.
years later, here we are.
2 years in, what's your favorite thing about him?
How much love he has for the world, his character, the way he deals with situations, the way he's just such a positive being.
What's your favorite thing about her?
She's just different, man. She's very refreshing in a world where it feels like everybody's trying to use everyone else. All she's ever done since she's met me is like pour love into me and pour caring to me and lift me up as a human being. And she has a lot of resilience. Like I'm very lucky as far as what I was given in my life and where I came from, and I look up to her because what she's been able to overcome as a person and be where she is in her career and who she is, like, she inspires me.
What are you two most excited for in the future?
She's been modeling her whole life since she was like 8 years old, and she's had like an insanely successful career, and she actually just got signed out here. So I'm most excited about her moving here and her career going to the next level.
And what are your names?
I go by T. Drew casually.
And I'm Stacey Lyon.
Excuse me? Sorry. Are you two a couple?
He ain't lying, okay? He got a little something there, man. Jesus Christ, okay? And that was a very positive review of black men. He's positive. He loves the people. He loves the world. He has a good character, okay? This is what women like about us, okay? Listen, I met a lot of positive brothers in my life, okay? I met a lot of people in my life. A lot of brothers, you know what I'm saying? We're positive people. You know, we might not have the best information, and you got to bear with some black men. They don't have the best information, but a lot of them try to see the best things in the world. You know what I'm saying? They try to see the glass as half full. And a lot of black women try to see it as half empty. And you know what? He has a non-black girl who could appreciate it, right? I can't hate on that, all right? But back to the subject. We still got black girls ranting about how bad it is that dating in your 30s, you know what I'm saying? Let's see what this girl has to say as she gets her makeup on.
I'm just like,
As she gets her makeup on, okay? Let's see what she got to say.
the older I get, the more I'm just like, Girl, you can have him. Just go ahead. I'm done with him. It didn't work out for me. Maybe he'll be a better man for you. I'm such a territorial babe. Like, I don't play about what's mine. But what's not mine, girl, could be yours. And it could be that because I'm getting older, I'm realizing how small the dating pool is of not high value, but just credible provider, income driven, responsible, treats his mama good, tall, not going to embarrass you with every outfit that he goes out in the house and type men. So if it's someone I used to talk to and it didn't work out, go ahead.
They give permission to share. Oh yeah, I used to date him. You could try, take a turn on him, This is why a lot of men are frustrated because they see women like this in their 30s and they're just sharing men. They're just like the dating pool's getting smaller. No, the choices women make, they're like all based off of one type of guy. You get what I'm trying to say? Now, I'm going to keep it real with you. Shape Squad, my sovereign kings, listen up. I personally think you should try to build yourself up to be desirable for women, but not for the sake of for women. Just what women desire is kind of natural, right? A man who's confident, a man who has strength, right? A man who has direction, a man that can provide. That benefits you too. Okay, so I'm not mad at girls who are wanting a man that's successful. I just hate the fact that a lot of these girls just want to show up broke because somebody's a provider, right? They take that time in their life, not gain any skills other than how to sleep with high value men. Okay, so we do have more girls here that's talking about what it's like to date in your 30s, what it's like to date in your 30s, and this girl looks like she's on vacation. So let's see what she got to say.
Dating over 30 is so hilarious because a lot of the men who approach you who are about the same age as you feel like it's now time to use your womb as a portal for them to achieve the next measure of success for their lives. And it's really funny because when you are not interested in marriage and having babies, you can see how much women and girls are manipulated into wanting that and into feeling like there's a timeline and that they should just rush and pick any man who approaches them. Mind you, I currently don't date because I feel like it's just a waste of my time. But when I was dating, men would always be like, okay, so how old are you? 32. Oh, well, aren't you afraid you're not going to be able to have kids? Aren't you afraid you're going to be too old if you don't just settle for me who's right in front of you? Dating over 30 shows you just how much manipulation and coercion is involved in women's mating choices.
Very interesting. She got some DSLs, right? Some big lips. Okay? And unfortunately, she hasn't marketed those big lips to get a ring. And that's unfortunate because I think she's attractive, right? I think she should be able to try to find a man, but she's upset with dating because she feels like men now use her age against her. Okay? And this is why the narrative that women try to take on, it doesn't matter. It matters to the men. It matters to the men. Women might lie to each other like, oh, you could date over 30. You could date over 30 girls. And I'm not saying you can't date over 30, okay? But listen, a woman's prime is not in her 30s, okay? And that's fine that that's the case. That's fine, okay? It's okay, okay? But you should use your time wisely. This idea now that you got to rush, it's not like a mistake. It's not on accident. It's not that the fact that you hear many men telling you this, they're trying to tell you something. So listen, you might learn something. Okay? But women don't want to listen. They don't want to learn. Okay? They want to go their own way. Okay? And they think that they can deal with this problem later on. They want to delay. Okay? They think they just got, these are one of the people who think they have control of life. I tell people all the time because my dad, one of the best advice my dad ever told me, or like tidbits he ever told me, he was like, you don't have life. Life has you. So many people are trying to control life, but when you understand, you don't have life. Life has you, okay? When the world doesn't need you anymore, they'll get rid of you. It's that simple. That's what death is anyway, okay? If we're lucky, we'll live 100 years if we're lucky, okay? But way before we're 100 years old, our mating value, our reproductive value will be far gone, okay? That's just why there is a prime, because life is a terminal illness, okay? Nobody's going to make it out alive, okay? So if you think you could just delay, it's not going to get easier when you get in your 40s. But a lot of girls believe that. and they believe it. They think it's the truth, and they think they believe it because it's true. But no, the reality of it is you think it's true, therefore you believe it. It doesn't mean it's actually true. You think it's true and you believe it. It's not the truth. Anyway, we got more girls talking about this issue, okay? I think she's pretty. You might not agree. I know some people don't love the brown-skinned girls. I like the brown-skinned girls. So let's see what she got to say.
I just left my boyfriend's friends get together, and it was like a Halloween party for like families and kids and things like that. I realized how far removed I am from my peers, like the people my age. Like all of them are engaged or married with children, pregnant, buying homes, getting promotions, and in 9 months I'm going to be starting my life completely over. So I really had to like take a step back to not compare myself to others. And then 2, I realized that I've never had an issue with dating outside of my race. Like I've always been open to finding love however it may come. But I realized that I have to get really good and comfortable with always being the only one. But what I realized is that if this situation with the man that I'm with is going to last, I need my own support system outside of him and his friends, and I don't have that. I really don't have any type of like friendships. Like I have acquaintances and people like that I'm cool with, but like when it comes to like genuine friendships, I don't have that out here. And if I'm going to stay out here, I need to get that. I need like community. I'm so overstimulated. I just left.
You know, maybe, I don't know, because you're talking about how dating is hard because you don't got any friends. I mean, what does that have to do with dating? You know, I don't know if you expect your man to solve that problem. And you said you don't. You feel like you need a support group outside of him. And the reality of it is like when you are a woman that's in her 30s, you know, you might, if you make a friend, would it be a legit friend? I don't know. I feel like a lot of girls, the friends that they really tight with are girls they've been cool with for a long time. So if you're a 30-year-old girl trying to make good friends with a girl in her 30s, I don't know. I don't know if girls in their 30s make good new friends. You know what I'm saying? So I guess that's another dating issue that women are having. Anyway, moving on. All right, so this girl tells a very interesting story about how she got married later in life. Another one of these girls who just, yeah, girl, don't settle. But I won't say it for her, okay? And let's see what she has to say.
A friendly reminder that if you are someone who is in their late 20s into early 30s and you feel like you have not met your person yet and you feel like you're missing out, I promise you, you are right on time for your life, and it will all be worth it when you meet your person. I'm sitting here reflecting on the fact that it took me a really long time to meet my person. And I met my person when I was in my mid-30s, and we will be married right before my 40th birthday. And it could not have happened at a better time. I am so glad I did not meet my person in my 20s because it allowed me to live life, get clear on who I want, get clear on who I wanted in a partner, learn to just truly love who I am and understand that the right person was going to show up at the perfect time. And now I'm basking in all of the things that I waited so long for, and it's been worth every single second. I know it can be really hard when you see people like getting married and having kids and doing all that stuff, and you feel like, when is it going to be my turn? Why me? Why is it not happening? And I assure you that everything always happens in the perfect time. So when you're dating and you're over 30 and you feel like it hasn't happened for you yet, I want you to understand that it is going to happen. It can happen. And yes, I know that there's no guarantee that it will happen, but I want you to keep that hope alive and understanding that it will happen in the perfect time. And if you just keep hope alive, I promise you it is going to be worth it. Whatever you do, please do not ever settle, because settling does nobody any good, and you are deserving of the most amazing relationship, the most amazing love, and it will show up if you just stay true to who you are and understand that you can have that. Just please don't settle for fear of missing out, because I truly believe so many people settled because they felt like they weren't going to meet their person and are now unhappy. And as someone who chose not to settle and decided to not listen to the naysayers, I am so glad that I stayed true to what I wanted, because I truly feel, I can't talk today, like I hit the lottery in love, and I truly believe that this is out there for those who want it. So this is your friendly reminder that you're amazing, you got this, and please don't give hope alive. And meeting your person in your 30s is exactly where it's at. I'm team dating in your 30s. This is your friendly reminder.
Is it a friendly reminder or an evil reminder? Okay. Listen, lady, I'm glad things worked out for you, okay, in your 40s, but, you know, it wasn't guaranteed for you. It's not guaranteed for anybody. And so I don't know why women give this advice. She even said that, you know, it might not happen for you, okay? But when you tell someone not to settle, you're almost increasing the likelihood that it won't happen for them. This idea that dating gets easier for older women, I don't know why they keep saying this. Now, she might be an exception, right? If I had to guess, she might be a high earner. She looks like she speaks like a high earning woman, okay? So don't be surprised. This lady makes $110,000. I'm saying that to say that a lot of you girls ain't gonna make that kind of money as black women. So you can't pull this stunt. She could find somebody goofy like her that makes as much money as her in like an office or what kind of environment she works in and get married, okay? She's not necessarily saying she got the best man. She got a man she didn't have to quote unquote settle for. But what do you mean by settle? A man that you're not attracted to? A man that's broke? A man that doesn't have a professional career? What do you mean by settle? Because she said she's glad that she got a chance to date around and date around. What is dating doing for women, really? You know, listen, I say it all the time. I benefited from hookup culture. Okay, I got to try things out, right? Women get to try things out. We get to try things out. But the reality of it is after it's all said and done, what do we really walk away with it? What did we really walk away with? You know what I'm saying? We really didn't gain anything from hookup culture. Okay, but apparently for her, she knows what she wants. She tried 10 different dudes out, 20 different dudes out. Okay, I know exactly what I want because I spent like 7 of these dudes had this type of thing that I wanted and they had this type of thing and this is what I wanted. And she found a guy like that, per se, and she didn't have to settle. But what if we said that, you know, we date around, I dated a girl in her 20s, I dated a girl in her 30s, I dated a girl in her 40s, and I found out that I don't want someone in their 40s. I don't want someone in their 30s. I think the sweet spot's like 28. So I'm not going to settle for 30s and 40s. What if we said that? What if we said we're not going to settle for 30s and 40s? How would women feel about that? Because we could say that. And honestly, a lot of men probably mean that. A lot of men probably mean that. You know, I know when the older I date women, they tend to be, you know, more stubborn, you know, more conformist, more self-sabotaging. It's sad. It's sad to see women who are stubborn, conformist, and self-sabotaging. But they exist, especially the older they get. And I think to myself, you know, I'm 37 now, right? And if I was a woman, I'd be terrified. But a lot of women are not terrified at 37. They got hope. They got videos like this that make them feel like, you know what, you're right, I'll find my husband at 40. But let's be real. Most women, if you try to find a husband at 40, you are wasting your time. You should use your most valuable years. You got to strike when the iron is hot, not when the iron is cold. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're ironing. Their life is a pile of clothes that they're ironing cold. If that makes any sense, you know what I'm saying? They got a cold iron. Anyway, my whole point about this is that I think that if you listen to what women in their 30s say, they're really just trying to give you an anesthesia to make you feel slightly better. They're putting you to sleep, right? Because really what's going to happen is they're tired of you complaining. I've realized these women are coming online now because they're tired of y'all complaining. Even a single mom in the first video, she's tired of you complaining. They're tired. They don't want to hear it no more, right? She got this woman here. She got a whole child in the video. She don't want to hear you complain about men anymore. She got a bunch of things to complain about when it comes to men, okay? That she got to be up in this crib taking care of this baby while you trying to talk to her, right? You trying to have a conversation with her. These women are tired of y'all complaining. They don't want to hear it no more, okay? This lady, she's like, I know you in your 40s, but, you know, it happened for me, so maybe it can happen for you. No, it can't. This girl looks better than you. She looks like Storm from X-Men, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is an attractive woman. That's a cool-ass hairstyle. And that might actually be her real hair if she's dying like that, which is wild, you know, because it destroys your hair, but it looks good. I actually think this is a nice cut. And I think a lot of black girls could wear their cut that low, you know? And black men, we have options like this. We have options like this. Do people understand? This guy complimented this girl. Do you see what's walking in front of that man? And she's a model? He was like, you want to ask me a question? I'm dating his baddie. Oh, you saw my baddie? You got her on camera? Black man, yo, we're going to win. You know what I'm saying? I feel bad. You know, I don't want to see our black women not get the men that they want and the women that want us, you know what I'm saying? And they compete for us when they're young. They get what they want. But that looks like what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. What's going to happen is we're going to get what we want. Because if you hold out as a black man, right? Like, that's what I'm doing, right? We're all walking away, right? I essentially, like, walked away from dating. I'm not chasing any girls. If a girl thinks I'm going to chase her, she's out of her mind. I'm chasing my purpose. I'm going to use my time and energy to labor for two things. I'm going to labor for wisdom, and I'm labor for freedom. Okay? God, Jesus, our Lord, is the sovereign king of my life. Okay? And therefore, I yield to him. And my assignment, my purpose in life, right? My purpose in life, I am the sovereign king. Okay? I am the sovereign king over my assignment. I am the sovereign king over my purpose in life. And that is my challenge, right? My purpose is not to chase women. I don't know if women understand that. Do I want to be with women? Do I want to enjoy women? Do I want to work with a woman? Do I want to see women out in public? Do I want to be around women? Absolutely. But do I want to chase women? Absolutely not. If you can't see my value, you know what? Maybe I ain't working hard enough. Because I'm not trying to win you over, okay? I want to make it obviously clear that as time goes on, my proof of concept became true and yours was all an imaginary dream. Okay? I see a lot of women now, like I'm popping off on YouTube. I got 10,000 subscribers. We're going up, right? Last two videos did 14,000, 16,000 views. The numbers are going up, right? A lot of the women that doubted me in the past, they're looking at those Instagram stories. By the way, if you don't follow me on Instagram, follow me on Instagram. I'll be talking on my Instagram stories. And best believe I see all the people who doubted me watching. And man, this exact same thing is going to happen to you. I'm saying this because in September of 2024, I quit. I gave up on my dreams. Right? Because I was frustrated. Because I wanted success. And little did I know that success was not that far away. It wasn't that far away. I started to get major success in December. I quit in September, got back in October, had some success in October, then some success in December. I'm in November, then December, then January, and we've been growing ever since. So don't give up. These girls are telling you the best advice for men. Don't give up. You don't settle as men. The women in these videos, they're giving the advice that men should take. You don't settle. Women, you might have to settle. I'm gonna keep it real with you. You know what I'm saying? You can hold out for the best, but if you think being by yourself is better than being with an average guy's not the problem. You're the problem. Anyway, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Channel blowing up. I appreciate you guys. Check out some of my other videos, and I'll see you over there.